G'day people, I'm Monstad and welcome back to our Space Engineers playthrough, Season 2. Beautiful view from this little control tower from our weapon testing platform tower. However, time to get on. Let me bring back. What have we got here? Good bot introduction. Hello engineers. Oh yeah, they just did an update I think this week, which introduced some new in-game help. How do I get rid of it? What the? You know, this screen anytime I'm pressing F1. But how do I get rid of it and stop it from opening? I think it's good they've introduced some tutorials. I don't believe they ever had one, did they? I might be wrong in thinking that, but I'm pretty sure they didn't. Jury's out on that image. Jury is out. That's a good one. I like that image. Yeah, that's a good one. Okay, anyway, how do I get rid of the good bot? I want to say goodbye to good bot. Game. Usually in here, isn't it? In-game hints. There we go. Show good bot hints. Goodbye, good bot. Let's get on. Okay, first of all, apologies for for so long between episodes. I've been working on a few other projects that have been kind of interfering with recording schedules, as well as real life stuff. So apologies for that. We'll try and get back to some kind of good routine from now on. And I've turned it off, but I'm still seeing that box. How do I get rid of it completely? I'm sure I don't need to restart the game just to get rid of that box. Press F1. No. That's really annoying. I know they're trying to help, but that is really annoying. I want rid of it. I want rid of it. Because I want to get on with some building today. I know we haven't tested all of the weapons yet and haven't tested them properly with some proper targets, etc. But what I wanted to do today was actually start getting on with the design for the put my helmet on. The design for part of the Battleship broadside. That's what I want to do. And to prepare for that, what I want to do is turn off the bobs, because I don't want things to be built as we're going along today. Bobs, bobs, bobs. Did I not put a shortcut for them? Really, I didn't. Yeah, let's turn them off. I really need to get... Okay, you're going to have to bear with me for a moment while I get rid of this big box up at the top left. That's really irritating me. I'll be back shortly. Later. Okay, welcome back. I had to reload the game, which is a bit of a pain because with loads of mods it takes like 3 or 4 minutes or more to do that. So yeah, I wish it would just turn off when you wanted it off. Okay, so I want to start... I'm going to get rid of this first. I want to start designing the broadside. Are there new things coming up on the right there as well? Proficient grinder, tool for it, yeah. I know that. Okay. I'll leave it as it is for the moment. Well, I guess it's just something new to get used to, isn't it? Okay, let's get rid of that. I just hit. What did I just bang into? Oh, the asteroid. I killed myself against the asteroid once as well. Idiot. I'm beginning to wonder whether this is going to be big enough with what I have in mind. I guess what I'm going to do initially is kind of design a broadside section. I say a broadside section. I guess what you do to try and describe it is imagine this shape here, this claw shape here, is the top half of the battleship. So the battleship's been cut lengthways across the middle. So if you mirrored that down there, you'd see that, and that would like be a cross section of the battleship. What I want to do is build a section that will be like the battleship cut directly in half down the center line. So we're going to build a section that is like excuse me, one complete side of the battleship, but one section of that side. That way what we can do is repeat it with the blueprint and then join them together to make it longer and longer, and then flip the blueprint around and also build to the other side of the battleship. So basically we design one section, and with that section we can complete the majority of the actual exterior hull of the battleship. I hope that makes sense. I can't think of a better way to explain it. So once we blueprint it all together and build the module, do a modular build and piece it all together, what we'll have is the shell of the battleship that is the broadside section. What we'll then have to build eventually is the tail section and the head section, so the fore and aft sections of the actual battleship, however they may look. And then add the small detailing, the other bits. The bridge would need to be added onto it as well at some point, but that's a fairly easy thing to do. The biggest part of this and the biggest build is actually designing that section that can then be pieced together as we go with using a blueprint. So that's probably the biggest design aspect of this particular ship. Yeah, it depends how wide I want the battleship. I guess we're restricted to this width. Yeah, I guess we'll just have to build it within the width of this shipyard that we have. That's probably a good thing actually, because it gives me some limitations to work within and some restrictions, so I don't go over the top with the actual build. So I guess what we need to do is make sure we're not going to build it above this. So it needs to be sort of the very top of the ship as we build it needs to be no taller than about this line here, so not above here. So we need to build it from here downwards. Yeah, and once we've built the first section, what I can do is just briefly add some power and thrusters to it and a control chair and just shift it around a bit until we get it into a position we like. Oh, mind you, saying that, no, we can't do that, because the reason I had that arm going out there is because we have to build it initially as part of this station. That way we can, when we do add the blueprints, they will all line up perfectly, and then when we're finished building it we just chop it away and we can move it around. That was it, I remember now. So I guess what I'll do actually is build that arm back out, but I'm going to build it from here, and this will represent the very top of the battleship, the line where we can build it. Okay, so why can't I add a block? I know it's a half block, but yeah, that'll be why then. Okay, let's do it from there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to extend this all the way across. He says having to mine away some of the asteroid to be able to do it. Which is fine as long as I don't leave any little chunks floating around in space. You know, the ones that are essentially attached to the asteroid that you run into or run your vehicle into, and it completely destroys your vehicle. Touch more, should be good. Okay. I also don't want this bit to be built when we turn the bobs on, so I am going to where's my do not build colour? Let's go from that. It was all the way up to the red, wasn't it? That's right. Can't remember what button to press to colour it. Select desired colour, hold quote. Let's. There's some key bindings I just continually forget in the game, and this is one of them. The button you use to colour a single block. Okay, it's a quotation mark. Let me just, because I can't see whether I've coloured it with it when I go along. Just the frames. I don't want to waste resources building this line of blocks, that's all. So this is the colour I've set for the bobs to ignore, so they will neither grind down nor build up, weld up any blocks that are this colour. And let's face it, it's a colour I'm not going to use for building at any time. Okay, let's return our colour back to normal and get on with this. Okay, so we're going to build, basically we're going to build it out that way, and we'll extend this shipyard as we need to, because our build bot, Bob the build bot, will need to be able to move along this spine, I guess is a good word for it, and every now and then, if just in case you've forgotten what that will do, is I can connect it to each one of these connectors, and these connectors are connected back to our main cargo hold through there, where all the components that I craft are put into, and all the components that are pulled from ground down ships are put into. So as long as it's attached to one of these connectors, it can access, the bobs can access all of the materials. And then what we can do is just continue extending this as long as we need to, and we'll just put that one of those connectors every now and then we just move the bob along, because they've only got a 75-meter range, and we'll move them along as and when we need it. Okay, so how do we begin? I guess we need a center point, we need a middle, don't we? So what I'm going to do as well, actually, is come down 3, make those red again, I'm actually going to weld that last one up so we know where we've halted that. And this is where we'll build from. So that's the center point. That's going to be the center line of our battleship build. Straight down there. Yeah, I think that should work. And we'll build out this way. So all this will remain clear, and that's probably a good idea because that way we can use this area here for building small ships as and when we need them. So I still don't have a fighter use for defense. So what are we going to do then? Now I'm not planning on a kind of overly complex design for this. I want this is going to be the basic hull, and then we'll add detail once we actually finish the modular build. So I guess we've got to decide how far out we're going to go. I think probably the wisest thing to do is to have an idea of where the broadside guns are going to be in relation with our shipyard sides, and we can sort of go from that, and that'll give us a good idea of how wide the ship's going to be. So let's go out a bit. Let's just start. It's like writing something, you know. It's really difficult to come up with something unless you actually start writing something, anything at all, and then it tends to flow. And it's the same with design, I find. You start putting blocks down and you start getting an idea of what you want to do. So what I'm going to try and do now at the first is initially is just decide how wide this ship's going to be. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, I want to do odd numbers because it makes it easier for when you're doing the details, when we do the bridge as well. So I guess what I'll do now is I'm going to come down a bit. It's not going to be a square battleship. We'll try and round off the edges. What I want to do at the moment is try and get an idea of where we're going to position some guns. So speaking of guns, I guess what we could start with is let's grab the Mex-Pex weapons. Now we know I know for definite the heavy defense turret is going to be a main feature of the broadside, and I want the broadside to be a kind of the one section of the broadside will contain two different types of weapons. There'll be two subsections of the broadside, if that makes sense. One of them will be these kind of turrets, and then there'll be a section of maybe 3 guns wide of the kind of inline weapons. So for instance, these Mark 1 batteries, the vanilla rocket launchers, the weapons that you fire from your hotbar down here, such as you would do with your rocket launcher. So there'll be an array of weapon turrets that will automatically fire and aim at targets, and then there'll be another line of weapons or a section of weapons, these inline weapons, such as that and the vanilla rockets, that as you pull alongside an enemy ship you can press a button and it will fire that broadside and unleash those weapons directly into the side of the enemy ship. So the turrets will auto-target, these will be manually targeted, and that's how I see it happening. So I think what I want to do first is develop the turret part, the part containing the turrets. Now the turreted weapons I'm thinking of is the heavy defense turrets are good, I think, all-round weapons. I'm not going to bother with the flak. I think we're going to go for the anti-missile turret and the anti-fighter turret. That'll make it part of our point defense. And I also do want to add at least one of the big heavy battleship cannons onto each of the sections. Now they don't have a very good range of fire. They can You know, they've got a 360-degree round like that, but they only have a 45-degree angle that they can fire up to, whereas these heavy defense turrets have, you know, a 360-degree all the way around, fire and arc. So these would start firing at whatever angle we get to when we're closing on an enemy. These ones we would have to close to a certain angle and distance for these to actually work properly. But I think it's worthwhile having them on there. A, they look great, they look brilliant when they fire, and they're going to do a lot of damage. So they're both the same weapon, it's just a slightly different shape to it. Let's pop one of those on there as well. And I don't think we need vanilla Gatling gun. Do you know what? I'm going to pop it in there anyway. Weapons, weapons, block weapons. What are block weapons? That's... I never used to say that, did it? This has been changed slightly, hasn't it? Cool. Okay. I'm going to grab... Should we make... Oh, do you know what? We've got these gun types, but we don't have any kind of turret missile defense, do we? Let's get a missile turret as well. So this is the turret section of our broadside. So a selection of those 5 weapons there. So let's start with that, because that will inform us of how far out we can go with this. So what's the biggest one we've got? Probably that battleship one, isn't it? Can you move these away from us? No, we can't, can we? So it's like one. We got hitbox 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is it really 6? Let's pop it on there and we can always grind it down. So the hitbox for that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so it's a 5x5. That's going to take up a lot of space, isn't it? It's okay, we can work with that. We can work with that. Probably going to need to move this line over a bit. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So we can't go there. So let's say our outer limit for the hull is going to be there. So we need to fit that weapon on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that weapon's going to come to there. So let's... This will make sense in a minute, I hope. Let's remove... This is why I turned the bobs off. Okay, so let's pop that one there. Which way around does it need to go? That's the wrong way. I knew I'd choose the wrong way. Let's try that again. Is that right? That's right, isn't it? Okay. That should be fine. And when we do the detailing, what we'll do is we'll smooth off this kind of edge around here and bring the ship up like this, and then the bridge will sit on the top of the hull up there somewhere. It's basically a weapons delivery platform, isn't it? What I'm probably going to do as well is repeat that down here as well. Yeah. We can come out a little bit down here once we get down below these Gatlings. So what I like to do is kind of have it so that the ship shape comes down like that. Oh, do we need to put it out? Don't. Probably don't. In each section, I'd like one of these there and one of them the other way round down here. And then at least 2 of the heavy defense turrets will also be part of this area. Now, the question is, how do I want those? I think what I'll do is I'm going to bring this angle in slightly, and this is where I'll add the anti-fighter and anti-missile turrets for this section, so the point defense for this particular section. And then what I'll do here is bring that out, come down, and then have probably around here one of the heavy defense turrets. Am I going to pick the wrong way again? I don't know until I've got it. I don't think it really matters much, this one, but yeah, okay, that was the right way around. Good. Oh, I've done it again. Killed myself on the asteroid. What a dope. Medical room. In the space base. That's where I need to respawn. Let's try not to respawn on the planet. And the bobs are off, so they won't have picked up my stuff. So hopefully all of my stuff's still in my body. I mean, I was hardly moving then. They really need to sort that out. I think it's just way too easy to die in this game, I personally think. Okay, where's my body? Body location 1.2 kilometers, which means not only did I hit the asteroid and die, but my stuff is floating away into space. They really need to make it less difficult to die just by banging into things. It is an absolute pain. Now I need to try and match velocity. Bear with me for a moment while I try and match speed and direction with my body before it despawns. Come on, nearly there. That's annoying. So where were we? Dying, that's where we were. Yeah, they really need to make it less easy to die. I think I banged into the Gatling gun. I mean, come on. I mean, I was hardly moving. Anyway, what were we saying? Okay, so I would repeat that on this side. So how did we do that? We went... Go down there, came out there, didn't we? Okay, so let's pop another heavy defense turret on there. It's that way around, isn't it? Yeah, that's it. Okay, so one of those, two of those, and what I think I want to do is repeat that, mirror that below it as well. And then this central area here, I think sunken in by one, just to, I don't want it all flat, I don't want the side of it to be completely flat. So let's bring that in. Again, you know, we've got all square edges and stuff at the moment, but once we get the basic layout for the broadside, we start tiddling it up a little bit. So in this section here, what I want to add will be the point defense. 1, 2, 3, 4. Could be an awkward number, couldn't it? So number 6 is one of them. What's that one? That one is a 3x3 hitbox. Oh, I know what I've done wrong. That, I think I probably should have brought that one out by 1. Let's do that. So that needs to be heavy defense turret there. It's that way round. The light back on again. Sorry about that. So in here, this section, will be the point defense. So what have we got? We've got the anti-fighter turret, which is just a 1 block. That's nice and easy. And then we got the anti-missile turret. So I don't think we need more than 1 anti-missile turret per section. So I'm thinking that one would probably sit, because I'm going to mirror this below, so this would sit central. Actually, what I'm thinking is what we could do in this little section here, because I think the rocket launcher takes up the same amount of space. Sorry, the missile launcher. Why won't that fit there? It's 3 by 3. Oh, we need some space to sort of round off the angles anyway. So you could do a missile launcher there. Could do a anti-missile turret over here. It's missile launcher, so it's hitboxes there, so it ends there. So let's pop that there. And then the anti-missile, so we miss one, move it down, put that there. I think that works out. So we've got one lock gap in between those, which will not going to run into anything. So basically what we've got the large battleship gun there, we've got 2 heavy defense turrets, then central there we have the vanilla missile launcher, we have an anti-fighter turret and an anti-missile turret. So that's our point defense for that section down the center there. So if we, so it's one just in line with the top of its hitbox there, so top of that hitbox is that right? Is that right? So basically that one is sitting kind of on the top of that one's hitbox. So this one should be sitting here. Center point for that is there. So the heavy turret of that one should sit there. How many are they going out from there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That should line up with that one. It does. Let's put that there. So you can probably see where I'm getting to now. And then we'll have one of these big battleship cannon down here. So how many do we go up from that? 6. 2 above the line of that cannon. 2 above. And that one's sitting there, so 1, 2, then it sits on that one. So it's there, so 1, 2, and it sits on this line here. I've gone out too far there, haven't I? Yep. Okay, let's pop that bad boy on there. That one needs to sit The right way around? It is. In line? Yes, it is. Make sure I'm not going to bang into anything? No, I'm not. Okay, so I think we got the beginnings of something there. So top and bottom we have the big, what are they? The Battleship Cannon Mark II. We have 4 heavy defense turrets, 2 top, 2 bottom, and then our point defense for that particular section is 1 missile, anti-missile, 1 anti-fighter, and then we have the kind of all-rounder, I guess, the vanilla missile turret that can just pretty much just blast whatever it wishes to. Probably kind of should have gone in the middle. No, it should be alright with that. And then we've still got some space around these to sort of soften the edges, soften the corners, round it off. What I may do when I start playing around with it is bring this out and down like that, because at the moment it's looking very, very square, isn't it? Well, depends what we do with the top. But it's going to be a big ship. Okay, I'm going to leave that section now. I'm going to leave this episode here. We're getting a bit long. Off camera, in between episodes, what I'll do is kind of tidy this design up a little bit, possibly change a couple of things around, but I'll show you what I've done at the beginning of the next episode. And then next episode, what I want to do is design the section with the inline weapons, and that won't take anywhere near as long. The way I envisage that to be is basically this side will kind of protrude further out than the section with the inline weapons. So basically the shape of this will go like that, and then it will go in and down there, then out, then that will repeat again, and the bit that's the concave section here will contain the rows of inline weapons that will be fired manually. And that section and the row of inlines, when that's done, will create a single section of battleship side, or a single module of the battleship. Yeah, we'll go with that. The only problem is when we flip it round to do the other side, that ain't going to work, is it? Because these will be in line with these. We can work around that. There'll be a way around that. Okay, right. Well, thank you very much for bearing with me on that one. I had no idea how this shape was going to turn out. I just wanted to play around with something. At the moment, it's looking pretty square and boring. We'll need to do something about that without a doubt, because it needs to look the part as well. But so far, I think I'm fairly happy with the weapon selection we've got on there. It should present a fairly strong target against most ships. Looking at it, the biggest worry I've got is these could be a bit too far apart, because it's going to leave a line. Imagine a line going along there and a line going along there. It's going to leave kind of a blind spot for the weapons. Well, I guess if we're not getting too close to the enemy, it won't really matter. If we're like 800, 700, 600 meters away from the enemy ship, then they should be able to pretty much shoot the majority of it. We'll see. To alleviate that, what I could do is these point defense weapons, I could line them along across that way and then bring this whole thing closer together. Yeah, I might do that actually. Anyway, right. Thanks for watching that one. Hope you enjoyed it. Please stay tuned for the next one. We'll have this bit finalised. We'll do the next bit, and then we'll start putting together the actual section, tidying it up, and making it look good. Until then, I'm Monstad, and I'll see you later. Bye.